Democrats joined thousands of protesters across the nation this weekend, demanding, among other things, to abolish ICE.
We need to rebuild our immigration system from top to bottom, starting by replacing ICE.
Look at ICE. What a group of incompetents. At this point, they're focused more on toddlers than terrorists.
Turning Point USA's Charlie Kirk went to the immigration protest to see if these activists really knew what they were talking about. He joins us right now. Charlie, I imagine it was quite enlightening out there with the protesters.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. There's a lot of anger and outrage out there. And what I realized is that these protests were much more about hating Trump than actually helping children or even actually trying to solve an immigration protest. What was said earlier is so true. This is the same sort of people and the same activists that were marching in the Women's March and the gun control march, because the left, they have gone all in, and they're horrified that Trump actually might succeed. In fact, that is a threat to their political future. They're in the worst place as a party that they've been since 1920. So they have to find these very emotional, divisive political issues that unfortunately pull on the heartstrings of America that are being misrepresented by the media. You look at Time magazine that intentionally misled their readers by putting an image that they said was separated, a young girl that was separated their family and was not. And so these are very emotional issues, and the activists had rage and anger instead of care and compassion for children.
And we've got a little taste of what you saw on the ground in the Chicago area. We'll talk about it on the other side. Listen.
Love, not hate, makes America great.
An example. Trump's evil, hateful rhetoric.
Oh, rapists, murderers, drug dealers.
Using words.
But there are rapists, murderers, and drug dealers crossing the southern border.
That's right. Oh.
Hildebrand says we should abolish ICE.
If that's what it takes to get things organized properly, that would be appropriate.
Well, there is a wall, sir.
I've done it myself.
There's two things here. There is a wall, and you can walk back and forth.
You would welcome MS-13 members?
I would welcome everyone in this.
No fear.
How about ISIS?
Everyone is welcome here.
Charlie, remarkable, because on the micro, when you actually talked to that one woman and said, well, there are actually rapists and drug dealers crossing the border, said, well, yeah, okay, factually, you're right. And the macro, the point you made a moment ago, that isn't it fascinating? This is the end of a week in which, that the rallies occurred, in which the president was dominating the Supreme Court decisions that went his way. Now he's got another pick on the court. He's going to reshape that. And it just, the left's anger just keeps boiling.
I call it the outrage Olympics. They almost are trying to outdo themselves of how angry they are. Look, they're losing. I would be upset, too, if I no longer controlled the Supreme Court, the House of Representatives, the Senate, the economy was booming, peace was on the horizon, a president you thought was going to do horribly is actually succeeding historically and is on the uptick. I would also be pretty outraged, but instead they should convert that outrage into some sort of reconciliation or path forward instead of trying to demagogue the most successful president of our lifetime. What I saw yesterday in the suburbs of Chicago, mind you, and I went there intentionally because it's a different sort of protester than if I went to the streets of Chicago, were just very upset people that thought they were on the virtuous, righteous side of this argument when in reality they were lacking facts and had all feelings.
And every time they're losing, it seems like they throw out this Hitler card, no matter what the issue it is.
Yeah, well, and also I found that one guy really interesting, the guy who says, ISIS, MS-13, you're welcome in. Charlie, great job out there. I'm glad you were safe. Well done, my friend.